Hey guys, last time I spoke with you a few years ago, we talked about what to do when your ex moves on really quickly after a breakup. And I'm just here to share with you a little bit of the follow through. The first thing that I want to talk about is how important that it is to not lose hope in a situation like that. Heartbreak is real, the pain is real, and the feeling of rejection and abandonment is very real, and it's hard to navigate. And I just want to remind you that there is always hope in a situation where your heart is broken and where you feel maybe that you missed the mark or that you weren't good enough or you get caught in that comparison trap. I just want to be here to remind you that it does get better, and after having 4 years go by, I get to kind of share with you guys today what has really been going on in my life. I'm excited to share with you all that I'm happily married to the love of my life. His name is John. We met a couple of years ago and we got married, and it has been a really awesome, great relationship. And I just want to share with you guys that when you do find your person or the one, when you look back at that time in your life that was pretty dark and pretty hurtful because of the pain that you went through in this breakup, it kind of puts it all into perspective. Looking back, I can see God's hand over the situation. I can see that He worked it out for my good. When I look at my husband, I am for sure 100% certain that there is nobody else that it could have been but him. But it wasn't easy getting there. I think there's a tendency after a breakup for some of us to move on really quick, and you have that choice to make, and you can start dating the next person that comes along. But what I really wanted to encourage you in the last video, and what I want to still encourage you today, is give yourself some time. Give yourself that time to heal, to seek God, to pray, and to ask those questions to Him about what He would have you do in your life. Seek Him and get closer to Him, because without Him as the foundation, your marriage it can be rocky. And so I spent a good deal of time after the last time I spoke with you all, really just pressing into God. And that ultimately led me to my husband, but it wasn't in the timing that I would have liked, because I wanted to have been married a long time ago. But God works everything out in His timing. It was really important for me to be the best version of myself. And by no means am I saying to be perfect, that you have to be perfect for the right person to come along in your life. But I really wanted to find those broken pieces in me and let God heal them before I entered into another relationship. And that was a process, and that took time. That took me searching my soul and realizing that He was leading me. I'm so glad that I waited, and I'm so glad that at the same time God was molding me and healing broken pieces in me, He was doing the same in my husband at the same time. I think what really prepares you to have a strong marriage is spending time investing in yourself first. That is what's going to really strengthen your marriage whenever you are in a challenging season with your spouse. And John and I have had some really great seasons, and we've had some really challenging seasons, but it's been that we have strong relationships with ourselves and we have a strong foundation with God that we've been able to weather any kind of storm that's been thrown our way. I know in those times when it's really dark and you're alone and you feel heartbroken, that the tendency to feel that you're not good enough for anybody, or that your ship has sailed, or those thoughts that come that you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough. I know those thoughts, and those thoughts are very real. But looking back, I wish I would have given myself a little more credit and had a little bit more faith in God in the midst of those ruminations that I would have about who I was as a person. And oftentimes we can find our identity in the relationships that we're in. And I think that was really something that I did wrong, as I found my identity in that relationship. So when it ended, and not only ended, but also he moved on with somebody else really quickly, I didn't know who I was. I went through an identity crisis, I guess you could say, because I had wrapped up so much of my identity in that relationship. Being in my relationship with my husband now is very different, because I have spent so much time investing in myself and do feel confident in who I am, and I don't look to my husband to validate me. I don't look to him to make me whole, because I get that from God. And it has taken me a few years to really understand what that really means. My main takeaway for this message is not that you look at at my life now as a married person and that it's all perfect and roses and sunshine all the time, because it's not. It can have its challenges. But I want to share the hope with you that if you find yourself in that season of heartbreak, because it does get better, things do work out. God has his hand on your situation, and he knows every broken piece of your heart. And it might not be the way that you want it to be as you're journeying and navigating through a season of heartbreak. Grief is thick. And, it doesn't just happen overnight where you feel like you're better. So I'll leave you with this. If you find yourself in that season of suffering and heartbreak and grief, just know that it doesn't go unnoticed by God. Find a friend that you can talk to. Take care of yourself. And know that this season will not last forever. And God has a great plan for you. And he has a great person for you. Become the person that you want to marry. Spend this time right now investing in yourself. Try not to spend too much time being caught up in what your ex is doing. I know it's hard if you share the same community, you share the same friends. I know how hard that can be. You're not sure if you want to go to the same parties that they're at. I get all of that. Try to spend that time investing in yourself, caring for yourself, nurturing yourself, and spending your time around people that are going to encourage you and build you up. Because it does get better. And this is a season that is going to mold and shape you to become the person that you want to be for that person that God has for you. Thank you again for tuning in. It is great to catch up with you all. We'll see you next time.